Does this work? Okay, my mic is working. Let me know if you're in the chat later and my mic isn't working. But the reason why I am whispering today is because if you've been watching my other live streams and my other videos, then you know that I have been doing 4-hour-long whatnot live streams for 7 days. Not 7 days straight, but I've been doing it for 7 days. So I'm basically like screaming. I didn't have to be screaming, but I'm basically really, really loud, which is how I normally talk. I talk really, really loud, and I'm like doing that for 4 hours on a store's platform on Whatnot, and I put the link down in the description below so you can find it. Please follow me on Whatnot first if you're not already. It's just Living with Lucy, and then the only store that I am following is the one that I am currently doing shows on, the one that I have been doing 4-hour live streams straight on. Hence why my voice is not out, but you can tell it's like more raspy. So I'm trying to save my voice for tomorrow because I'll be doing it again tomorrow for 4 hours. So bear with me on this stream that I will be saving my voice and just chatting with you guys through whispers. So I hope you can hear me because I'm using this mic, but maybe you can't. I don't know. So we'll find out later. I want to say huge thanks for the fact that this channel is my second one, and I can't believe we made it to 100 subscribers. And I know that's quite a small number, compared to other YouTube channels and my main one, Living with Lucy, link down below. But I'm still very proud of the growth. I feel like all the friends of mine that wanted to follow me already did. So right now, any new followers or just anybody new that finds my channel, which I'm really happy about. All right, with Whatnot, by the way, you can use my link down below and follow the store that I'm following to see me do live streams over there. But eventually on my own Whatnot link, which you will find down below, I plan on also doing my own Whatnot sales. I just don't have enough time right now. I'm putting on lotion right now. Yeah, it's just been crazy. I feel like I just went really hard. I was already going really hard, and trying my best to do good at everything I'm trying and everything I decided to start at in life. And I guess even though I had a really full plate already, I decided to add one more thing, which is hosting for an entirely different platform. And I'm having a lot of fun. I enjoy it. If you see me there, you'll see that I'm happy and excited all the time when I'm there. That is real. But I do think about the fact that, am I burned out? I do think about, I wonder what it actually is, though, because I do tell people that I am burned out, and I feel like I am burned out because I feel like that's what people say. People say they're usually burned out when you do a lot of jobs. I remember I used to say when I was in my early 20s, I would be like, oh, I'm so burned out, because I was super burned out from working at the time. I remember I worked at this property management firm that was a full-time job. Okay, so I worked at a property management firm. And then after the property management firm ended, I started to work a second job, literally 30 minutes after. So I would work an 8-hour day shift at the office for a property management gig, a job, a full-time job. And then after it ended, I would go straight, I would travel to my second job, which is doing waitressing work at a chicken wing place. So I would do that sometimes from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. So that's kind of 2 jobs. At one point in my early 20s, I had 2 full-time jobs. So at that point, I remember also saying that I was burned like sitting in a chair, right? And it's like not that tiring for your legs. But then for the waitressing serving job, there is no sitting down. Everything was just standing up, walking around, going to customers like every second. So my feet would be super sore by the end of the night. And then when I go home at 2 a.m. and I have to shower, take off my makeup, and do any other free activities, I'm pretty much sleeping at like 3 a.m. And then I wake up like with a 5 hour sleep. So when you don't get enough sleep, your body's like, your face is swollen, your feet is more likely to be swollen. So I remember having like really, really swollen feet in my early 20s. And that is a time that I do not want to relive. But I'm glad that I made it through, and it was good when it was good. And it was also sad in moments where I remember I'd be just like walking home by myself late at night and then questioning my entire life. Like, is this it? Is this what I'm gonna be doing? Like, I knew that it was up to me. Like, I didn't have to work 2 jobs. But then at the same time, I just felt the need to do, and like, I think that's just who I am. Like, I just want to do as much as possible and like basically be of use, like be a useful person, but then like also make as much money as possible. And I had that mindset ever since I was like a teenager. So like, I think that's never really gotten out of me. It's just that now my life is much easier than it was in my early 20s. But anyways, I remember just being like, oh my God, like I felt bad for myself in a sense. So anyways, bring it back to now. I feel like I'm still telling people, like when I chat with my friends and we ask each other like how things are going, I'll still say like, I think I'm really burnt out, because that's what I feel like society usually says when you're taking on many, many roles. Like if you're working 2 jobs and maybe you're a mom, or you're working 2 jobs and you're taking care of like an elderly in the family. But I've never actually looked up like where the definition of burnt out came from and like what it is until right now. And it says having a burnout means being in a state of emotional, mental, and often physical exhaustion caused by prolonged or repeated stress. It's a result of feeling depleted and used up, leading to a sense of hopelessness, cynicism, and resentment. Burnout can impact various aspects of life, including work, relationships, and even physical health. So, I didn't know that it was that intense, because now looking at this review of what burnout means, and of course, like everybody says that word a lot. I think most people I know that say that word, they're not necessarily hopeless and have an increased cynicism in life, or maybe even resentment. But I just find it interesting that that is what I find on Google. But I do feel, out of all of these feelings, sometimes just very exhausted. But it's funny because it's like I'm not even doing everything that I do now, like running both YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, RedNote, X, and then now also hosting on Whatnot and my many other subscription platforms, and trying to respond back to like companies that want to do sponsorships, etc., etc., like all those things, plus trying to I ran out of fingers, trying to trade my own stocks in crypto, trying to do my own e-commerce online business sales, which is like 4 other platforms, and also trying to do in-person sales. That's like more than 10 things on my fingers. So I am doing so much where I feel mentally like it's a lot, because just thinking about having so many things to do makes me stressed out. But then I'm not stressed out to the point where I'm like depressed or sad or like pulling out my hair. So I'm kind of still doing everything that I have been doing, even though I added like this new role into my life, right? my schedule so full that I just have to be more efficient. So it's kind of a positive thing than a negative thing. But I do think that when I think about like the entirety of my life, I'm like, oh, all of these different things that I'm trying to do, whether it's for like YouTube, like this as a hobby, even though I'm monetized on my main channel, not over here. So thank you guys so much for watching my silly little videos and me chatting with you guys for hours, because all the hours count towards being monetized on this channel as well. But it doesn't matter. Even if I'm not, I still enjoy what I do. So it's like everything I'm doing, it's for hobbies and it's also for like making money. And I feel like at the end of the day, even though it's so jam-packed, I'm just like, I'm happy because it's what I want to do. Like none of the things that I'm doing right now or anything that I'm unhappy at and like pissed off about. Hi there, Patrick. Patrick, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to anybody who is currently watching. Please smash the like button if you haven't already. So yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm just saving my voice as I will be talking nonstop for another 4 hours tomorrow and the day after that. And I mean, I feel like my voice is already running out, but it was really weird. Last year when I was in China, I was visiting my aunt, and my voice just like, I didn't even do 4-hour long live streams, and I don't know why, but my voice like completely was raspy for like 2 months. And I took all these herbal teas, like all these Chinese herbal teas. I asked everybody in China that I could see at a store or family and friends. I'd be like, do you know how to fix like a raspy permanent throat? Because I'm like, my vocal cords are just messed up. I don't know why my voice is like all like ratchet and raspy and cut up. I'm like, I didn't even talk that much. And for no reason, like for 2 months of my life last year, it was just super raspy. So I'm glad that my voice isn't like that raspy right now. And it never really was that raspy, even though I've been talking like for 7 days in 1 month at 4 hours a day, like super speed. But yeah, it more about the whole burnout thing. I just feel like burnout is a word that a lot of people throw around. Like, it's kind of like, unfortunately, how people say like, I'm so depressed, I'm so depressed. And I feel like that was a word when I was younger. Like all my friends threw it around too, especially in like teenage years. It's just like, there's a lot of words with a lot of nuances. And I feel like, especially when you're younger, you hear other people say it and you'll also say it, even though everybody has obviously a different meaning. It's like saying I'm in love or saying I'm super sad, but there's different levels to that word for different people. But I feel like right now a lot of people around me all say that they're burned out, and I say I'm burned out too. But now after reading that definition online, I don't think I'm nearly as burned out as becoming cynical, which I feel like there's a part of me that is very cynical. Like I like to think of the worst things that could happen to protect myself before thinking about the positives, but then I'll still think about the positives in the end. But yeah, I don't think that all the things that I'm doing is causing me to become like a cynical person and causing me to be like super unhappy or anything like that. If anything, it's making me more empowered and I feel happier than ever. Just like feeling like I'm doing whatever I want to do and that I'm having fun trying different things, because the last thing that I want is to not be curious about new things anymore. Like I feel like I just want to do more things and I'm curious about more things and I want to be curious about like more platforms in the future, and I hope I'm not too tired to try more in the future. And sometimes things will just have to take like some things in life will just have to be in the back burner. So for example, out of all the things that I listed, like all the social media stuff that I do, all the videos I pump out every day, I don't do live streams like this every day, and I don't do long format videos, although I posted one on this channel today. I don't do that because I don't have time to edit videos every day. I don't think most YouTubers can, but I don't have time to post videos all the time. But I made it a commitment on my main channel. Since last year, I've been posting about, I would say, at least 10, sometimes 15 videos, short videos a day. And I'm glad that I did it because it was kind of like a trial, because I was curious if it could grow my channel, and it did. Like last year in July, so it hasn't even been 365 days yet, but last year in July, I had literally 7,000 subscribers on my main channel, not this one. And as of today, I finally reached 28,000, and then it quickly jumped up to 28,050. So YouTube really does, as Mr. B says, move in an exponential manner. And I'm really glad that I took the leap of faith and I guess tested it and decided to pump out a lot of videos. Because I think just with trading stocks and crypto and just social media, you're always gonna have people selling you courses, trying to tell you that they know better than you, trying to tell you that they've cracked the code. And so I've watched all of those videos, people claiming they know exactly what they're doing with trading, people claiming they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to social media. And let me tell you, there are people who will tell you not to post like that often. They'll be like, quality over quantity. And I agree. I do think you should have quality videos. But if I listened to the people that were like, quality over quantity, just work on one video, maybe post once a month, then I definitely would not see the same growth that I did on my second channel, on my main channel, Living with Lucy, as I am now. And then recently, I'm glad that the TikTok algorithm brought me to this girl's video, and she was talking about how quantity is what matters with the algorithm. She wasn't talking about YouTube though, she was talking about TikTok. So this girl was saying how, I guess one year she had a breakup or something, so she had a lot of time on her hands, and so she started to post like crazy. I think actually prior to the breakup, she was already posting 10 videos a day, and so she says that she grew her channel from I don't know, 50,000 subscribers to 200,000 subscribers in a year or something. And then when she was going through her crazy breakup, I guess she just had a lot of time on her hands, she, from the span of 1 year, grew from 200,000, I guess, TikTok followers all the way to about 2 million, or a million. So basically 200,000 to about 1 million to 2 million, because she posted 20 to 25 videos a day. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to try that, because I feel like I am already maxing it out. I'm already doing 10 videos a day, basically, at least, short videos on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. And then I post a little bit of that on RedNote, and my RedNote is growing too. I got RedNote when TikTok was supposed to be banned, and then it didn't end up getting banned, but my RedNote went from 0 as a new account. Now it's at 2,300, which is really weird because I'm I don't even know why. I still have it, but I still have it. So yeah, I just think it's different. You can listen to somebody on YouTube or on social media tell you one way to live your life, and you might believe it, but then you could possibly listen to someone else's opinion, and it might be something completely different. And I'm not here to tell you which one's correct. You just have to kind of figure it out for yourself, but know that whatever you're trying and doing, maybe it's not working, but maybe that's not the only way. At least that's what I've learned. Thank you, Patrick. Anytime. One of my best friends, she tells me she watches my videos a lot, and then I'm like, don't do it, man. I appreciate you so much, and all of you guys that are there commenting on my videos, liking the videos, and spending time, your precious time, on any of my videos. But I always tell my friends, I'm like, ads or get me hours for my second channel over here, I'm already super grateful. So super grateful, even if you guys don't actually watch it. Thank you, thank you. And I always tell my friends, so I'm going to tell you guys too, I don't think I'm the greatest YouTuber of all time, and I never will be. So I highly recommend you guys watch all different niches as I do. I watch probably the most random things. Like my FYP is the weirdest thing. You're gonna like, my YouTube goes from like watching 2000 like Y2K era music videos. Like right now I'm watching old Britney Spears concerts and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I've never seen this in my life. It's like, I love YouTube because YouTube is like a time machine. But anyways, I'll watch anything from like a 2000s Britney Spears YouTube video of her like doing a concert from like the year 2000 all the way to like a vlog of someone doing makeup or like traveling in like Australia, somewhere completely random, and I'll just like write down like places I want to go. So for example, and of course I watch like Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre Jack for like finance stuff, and just your basic like Bloomberg news, anything with trades, and random smaller accounts whenever they're talking about like, let's say GME if I'm invested, or any of the stocks and crypto. I just like fly around different channels. But yeah, my FYP is very, very weird. But I do want to tell you, I guess I was really shocked and amazed. Okay, so I love Bellagio. I love Bellagio in Vegas. Is probably like one of my favorite hotels ever, and like casinos. Like for the view and the garden. So if you guys ever go to Las Vegas, I highly recommend you. It's free. You just walk into like the Bellagio casino, and then you like ask them where the garden is. So they have this beautiful like conservatory, and they decorate it with different art. And I love the fountain, like the water fountain right in front of the Bellagio. Like the hotel, they have like water fountain works. So anyways, when I was watching this Britney Spears video today, I never knew that, like, I think it's sometime in the 2000s, I don't know when, she actually performed on top of the water. And I'm like, I didn't even know that's possible. Like, WTF. They gave her a platform. I don't know. You have to search it up. They basically gave her a platform where in front of the fountain water on the Vegas Strip, like right in front of the Bellagio casino, and she was there with her backup dancers, I guess sometime in the 2000s era, and she was dancing and singing and performing in Vegas, and I just thought that was so crazy, because I never knew that was allowed. I didn't even know that was possible, but apparently it is. And then also I'm really interested in this place called Hamilton Island. It's in Australia. I saw it on a random vlog, and I'm like, I need to go here now. It looks so beautiful. You can Google it. I want to see koala bears in person one day when I go to Australia, and then I want to go to this Hamilton Island area. The beach just looks really insane, and apparently the sand is like always cool because it's like so pure. That's what I learned, at least. Anyways, so back to the whole burnout situation. I guess I'm not burnt out because I just talked to you guys for like 24 minutes. And I'm still going. Okay, it's really hot in LA though. So I'm gonna get myself a drink. I don't think I can lose my voice from whispering. Hold on. Okay, wait. I didn't lose my voice. I'm like worried that whispering is gonna make me lose my voice. No, it's still here. Okay, I'll go back to whispering in a bit. I just need a drink. I'll be right back. This has turned into an ASMR video by accident. This is just my ice bucket. I realized that this mic was having problems. Like this Shure mic was giving me problems. And then I changed the cable, so it's working now. That wasn't my idea. It was actually my SO's idea. I'm not that smart. But some people were saying on my mic is on my Stanley cup right now. And it's working. It's working. So I actually have no idea what this sounds like. I don't actually watch ASMR videos, but sometimes they'll pop up and I'll like see it on TikTok. So there we go. I don't think ice banging is really ASMR though. I don't even know what drink I'm gonna get. Oh, also, totally not sponsored. I wish I was sponsored by Swilling, but it's not. But I just wanted to show you guys. Look at my straw. Isn't it so cute? Like, okay, I saw this straw like at the first Swilling that I went to one time, and I was like, sir, can I buy this straw in the cup that you have? And the guy was like, no, you need to buy the whole cup and the whole straw. And then like I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, because I don't want to pay $60. So I walked away, and thank God I went to an outlet and I found the straws being sold on its own. And then like it's 4 of these, so you can buy 4 of these straws. I think you can find it on Amazon or online too if you want. But I bought it in person and it was like 20% off. It was already on discount, and then I had like 20% off. So these are, I only use like glass straws because I like to see like what I'm drinking. And I like the little logo. I like the little Swilling logo, but it's also just like colored because all my other straws are all clear. So I just like it being color coded. I forgot how much they were. I think they were on sale, so it was like $10 for 4 straws. Let's try a new drink together. So again, this is not a sponsored video. I went to like I think I was at like a TJ Maxx or something. And then I saw this. It's not really cheap. I used to think TJ Maxx was cheap, but it's not cheap at all. Like all the drinks, you know, like when you're about to check out, and then there's all these things on the side. Yeah, I'm a sucker for those. So this was on the side, and I was already buying so much stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Let me add one more thing that I don't actually need, but I want. And this has been sitting there. Actually, I'm not. I think it is TJ Maxx. I'm not 100% sure, but it's one of those like discounted places. See, it was $6.99, and now it's $4.99. But it's only 4. It's only 4 cans. That's not a lot. Well, boo-boo, hi there. It's hard to find those big plastic straws that work for smoothies, the wide ones. Wait. Oh, like the big thick straws, right? Yeah, I wish they made thick like boba ones for these, but I don't see those. Let me know if any of you guys find really good glass straws that are for boba. Anyways, I thought this was cool because I like sparkly drinks, which I think this is sparkly. It says Belvoir Farm, crafted with nature simple ingredients, elderflower and rose lemonade. It just sounds like it would be good because I'm like, I've never drank elderflower before. I think I've heard of elderflower. It's made in the UK on her family farm. That's wild. It says add 9 ounces of sparkling white wine to a wine glass with ice, and then oh snap! I guess you could use it on it. You could drink it on its own or use it as a mixer. Well, I'm not drinking alcohol right now, so I'm just gonna drink it on its own. But apparently, you can mix it with white wine. Good to know. I have a lot of white wine. I have a lot of wines. Period. But I don't actually drink a lot. At least not by myself. Oh wait. Is that ASMR? This is actually not an ASMR just saving my voice for those of you guys that try to come back for more ASMR. This is all I got. But I might do more whisper streams since I have to do 4 hours hosting Whatnot live streams. I need to save my vocal cords. I wonder if other people are just more genetically blessed maybe, and they can talk for like 10 hours a day and not lose their voice. Like, I'm very jealous if that's you. Okay, so I just rinsed it. I always rinse my caps. This is what it looks like. It's very pretty. 80 calories. Not bad. Added sugars, 38%. It says free from all artificial ingredients, sweeteners, preservatives, and flavorings. It's made with hand-picked elderflowers and pure spring water for a delicate, floral, refreshing taste. At Belvoir Farm, we've been helping nature do its thing since 1984. Nice. Okay. Nice. It smells really good. Oh my god, it does smell like roses. I'm just messing around. I have no idea how good my mic is. My brother bought me this mic, so I hope it's good enough to do ASMR. There we go. It's slightly pink. Alright, I'm gonna give my honest opinion on this. Oh my god, it's so good. That's worth the $5. $5 plus tax. Wow. Look how pretty that is. You know what? It tastes really fancy. It tastes like it would go, like, imagine busting that out and then like mixing it with white wine. That sounds like some type of a girly, like, I don't know, like a girly brunch thing. I wouldn't know because I've never hosted like a brunch tea party myself. I hope that later one day when I buy my own place I could host like those girly tea parties. I bought all the teacups and stuff. I just have no space to host anything. Thank you, Bobo. Yeah, I love this mic. I mean, I love this mic because I feel like it makes me look more professional, even though I'm just talking to you guys out of my kitchen / living room. It's like I'm in the living room, I'm in the kitchen. That's how much space I have. So that's when people tell me, like when I go to other people's homes and they're like, my house is so small and their house is like over 1,000 square feet. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't think it's small. My whole space right now is, I would say, like around 400 square feet. That might be even making it sound bigger than it is. I'll be back. Okay. Now that I have a drink, it's more cool in here now. I don't know why. Like, it's really weird. So my place is really, like, LA is amazing at nighttime. Like, I'm so comfortable at night when I go outside and like walk around, like take a breather, because when the sun sets, I'm just happier. I think I'm made for the night. I don't know. I might have been like a vampire in my last life or something. I feel like it's so strange. Some people are morning people, some people are night people, and I swear I'm just a night person. Because like the moment the sun comes down and like I see the sunset, my energy levels just literally rise. Whereas like when it's hot outside, I kid you not, I'll go outside with a hat and sunscreen. Of course, because I never go outside without a hat and a sunscreen. I go outside for like 5 minutes, even if it's not even like 100 degrees, even if it's only like 85 Fahrenheit. I'm like cooked in 5 minutes. My face turns red and I just feel like dehydrated ASAP. I'm just like not made. I'm not made for like the heat. It's so weird. But like at nighttime, I just gain energy. The more I'm in the sun, the more tired I am. Like I will literally get a headache if I'm walking around in Santa Monica for like 30 minutes. Like I cannot explain it. I will just like, for no reason, I'll start getting a migraine sitting on a couch. Oh, speaking of pain, just when I thought that like, okay, so before I took on this Whatnot hosting gig, right? Before I started to do that, I like my day-to-day is wake up and then stand and walk around for the entirety of my day. I don't sit down, I don't take naps. I'm just standing up all day long. So I had this problem. I had this physical like thigh, leg pain problem for a bit. I realized because I just had like so many months of me just standing up for so long that my Apple Watch usually says like I stood for like 16, 17 hours of the day. So I think because I was standing so much before the Whatnot like 4-hour stream gig, I was standing up every day. Like I was doing eBay listings, like all the listings for my e-commerce stuff. You have to like move around, taking pictures, but you're like always on the move and you're always on your legs. I would do like live streams with you guys on the main channel. I would like just make videos, like everything would be standing. Cooking, I'm standing. Brushing my teeth, I'm standing. Like I'm never sitting down. So at one point, my legs just felt so heavy and painful. I think my muscles must have like just got messed up and heavy. So like I had actually for a while I was really worried like I messed up my leg muscles or something. So that it's crazy that because I started to sit more, like now I sit for 4 hours when I do the Whatnot hosting. I'm like sitting there for 4 hours. So after I started to do that, I realized my leg pain went away. Like my legs no longer feel heavy and like uncomfortable anymore. But something else happened. Like now my back hurts. And I don't know. Okay, I don't share my age on here, but I like to say I'm close to 40, 45, okay? We'll just say I'm 45, whatever. So I feel like I'm 45, but I feel like I'm a 45-year-old that's like a 90-year-old. Like my body is just like, and a lot of the way I think, I feel like I'm 90. Maybe just because like I overthink too much, and I think about like life and just like everyone in it and everyone that I know, and I feel like I've seen too much. So sometimes I just literally feel like I'm 90. But anyways, I think it could be aging, that like something's always wrong with me, but my back is like hurting. Like right now I can't feel it, but like ever since I started to sit down for those 4-hour streams, like my legs now no longer are stuffy, but then now my back is like weird. And I'm like, how did I get a weird back from sitting? Like that doesn't even make sense. But I have like, I'm not gonna show you, but right now I have those medical back patches. I mean, it's not like I think it's like herbal back patches on my back, like my lower back, like right here. It's like sprained. It's just like a weird feeling on the inside, like it's a little inflamed. So when I like go to the toilet and I'm like sitting down or I get up, like I just feel a lot of discomfort and pain inside, and I don't know how that happened. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it goes away. If not, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Maybe that's just part of life. I think someone once told me that we all come, like, well, not all of us. Some of us are lucky enough to come to the world able-bodied, so meaning your body is 100% like healthy. But most of us will leave the world not 100% able-bodied. So meaning, technically, if you have vision, just like your vision is not 100% perfect, then technically you're not 100% able-bodied as you were when you came in. Let's say like maybe when you were born you had 20/20 vision. I myself had LASIK, so I definitely did not have perfect vision at one point. Yes, Secret Twin. It's ASMR by accident. Oh my god, this drink is so good. And it is really natural. Just tastes like I'm drinking like a rose wine, but zestier. I think the elderflower makes it kind of zesty. And it's just like slightly, it's not really bubbly. I thought it would be more bubbly. It almost smells like lychee, but it's not. It doesn't, I don't think it has any lychee in it. Oh wait, it's like just the right amount of sparkly bubbles. Not too much. Yeah, so I think I'm doing too much, but I'm also not burned out. And I feel like it's both just mindset and adjusting. Like, I feel like I am telling myself all these things in my mind. Like, it's like my mind is reacting in a way where all the things that I'm taught is kind of surfacing. Like, I'm taught that, like, you know, if you're not 18 and you're doing all these things, it's like a toll on your body. I've always been taught that, like, the older you get, the more you should rest. I'm always taught that if you do too much, you're gonna burn out. So I feel like it's all the things. It's mainly all the things that people are telling me or told me my whole life, or just society generally acts that way, that is making me like kind of trick my own mind into thinking like, oh, maybe you can't do this. Oh, you're like doing too much. And it's like, this is bad. But when I stop and I think about it, I'm like, wait, no. I'm just telling myself this. It's almost like I'm self-doubting. I'm just self-doubting. But in reality, like, I'm happy with everything that I'm doing. And sure, some things are taking like the back burner. Some things are no longer a priority. Like, basically now, because I'm busier, a lot of the companies that reach out to me and write emails to me and ask to like work together, I don't really check my emails anymore. So it's almost like by luck, by chance, if I happen to have time and I scroll one and I respond back, then maybe we'll do something like some type of PR package or whatever I'll receive. If I don't respond back, then whatever. I don't care. So it's kind of like those things are taking a back. But that's fine. Like, it is true that you can't do everything all the time. Like, the more things you do, maybe the less you're not able to put as much focus on it, or maybe it just falls apart. But I think that's okay, because it'll make me choose the things that I think are more important. So obviously I'm going to choose to keep posting on my social media and chat with you guys over chatting with somebody who's just trying to get me to talk about their company, which I'm grateful for, but that's also my choice. Like, I want to work on my own brand and like my own platforms more than I would want to, you know, work on somebody else's thing when it's optional, right? And it's not like it's going to change my life. Like, yeah, maybe when my videos are posted on someone else's platform and their platform might be bigger than mine, it is getting me engagement. So there are positives to that too. I don't want to say it's all bad. But it's just like, you got to pick and choose what you think is more important in life. And that's just something we all have to deal with. And it's crazy because I don't even have kids yet. And I want to have kids, but I don't even have children yet. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so much. That's just so many things in a day to do. And of course, later on, if I were to have kids, I do think about how my life's going to change again. But then I'll just have to pick and choose what's priority. And of course, my future babies will become my priority. So I think if it comes down to, like, of course, I still want to be a working mom in the future, by the way. Like, I want to work and I want to have a kid. So hopefully I can figure that out. I want to do both. But I'm not going to be, like, focusing on making, like, a PR video instead of, like, I don't know, feeding my child. Of course, I'm going to be feeding my kids and, like, making sure they're taken care of before I focus on any of my, like, hobbies, you know? So I think everything in life, you just have to pick and choose what makes you happier, and not really let the outside noises get to you. And it wasn't really even just outside outside noises. I mean, technically my parents and like my entire family's like, don't work too hard, don't go too crazy, because they all know I'm crazy and like I just do too much. And like a lot of my friends are like, wow, how are you not burned out, like doing all the stuff that you do? But I'm just I choose to believe, and I do believe that like just because other people are calling it a burnout, and at one point I was tricked to think it's a burnout, as long as I'm getting the rest that I need, my body is getting the rest that I need, which I am giving it. I still sleep like 8 to 9 hours a day. As long as I'm resting, I'm doing all the things that needs to be done, like grooming myself, making sure that I still take showers, and like face care, everything, and like just taking care of whatever I used to take care of, doing my chores, doing my laundry. Like my life is still in order. Then I'm allowed to do all of the different activities that I decide to add into my life, and all of the different ways, different streams of income that I've created in my life, and then hopefully more to come. There's still so much more that I want to do. Like I also want to get more serious into real estate, although I think that would be extra hard, because as a real estate agent, you have to answer to your clients and pick up the phone. So if I'm doing a 4-hour like whatnot stream, for example, and like I said later on, I want to do my own thing too, so I'll be doing even more streams. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to like pick up a call and be like, yeah, okay, I'll go to this showing with you, because I can't. So I don't know. I don't want to say that I'm gonna quit real estate, because I still want to give it a try, like maybe 1 year of like full focus. I just don't know when that year will be. Maybe it'll be like a year from now. It could be this year, or it could be 3 years from now, or I don't know, maybe even 30 years from now, right? Whatever. It's fine. You can always just take the test again. That's how I see it. I also wanted to talk about my recent fear of flying. I mean, but first I want to say, of course, condolences, and my heart goes out to the 242 people that were on board the London-bound flight from India. Everyone did not make it except for one person. And I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that this is one that really made the news, because the plane crashed into a medical school, apparently. Nobody survived. This was, I think, literally 2 days ago. Nobody survived except for this one man. Like the luck is just mind-boggling. But then I don't want to call it luck, because the luckiest thing would be if that didn't happen, right? If everybody was saved, or the gentleman was just not on the plane to begin with. That would have been even luckier, in my opinion. But regardless, it is absolutely a crazy story, complete tragedy, and I'm glad that there was that one survivor, at least to tell the story. It's just scary to me, like, when I hear this stuff, because this isn't the first time. This isn't the first plane crash. This isn't the first accident we've seen with planes, and I've seen Bowen on the news, and it just freaks me out. I'm sure you guys are scared too, like when you see that. But I always have heard, like, when people talk about statistics and they're like, oh, everyone gets freaked out when you hear about like a plane crash, because when a plane crashes, it's not like a car, it's much larger. So obviously more lives are on the line. So when you see a big number like that, like over 200 people on the news, the impact is larger. But apparently if you search the statistics, and again, do your own DD, this is just what I've heard many times. People say that if you search statistics of all the planes that go out every single day versus all the cars that are on the road, on the highway, every single day, the ratio of car accidents is still much, much larger than plane crashes. Thankfully. space station up there. And yet we still are having people like lose their lives through plane crashes and car accidents in 2025. Like, that just upsets me. And I don't know, because obviously with like Teslas, it's not like there are no accidents either. And like with all of the EVs out there, autopilot is not, there's no Tesla like autopilot where you can just not sit in the front seat as of now, because I think no law has been passed with, at least like federally. But then I do know that Waymos are in SF and now in LA, where like I didn't sit in one yet, but apparently the Waymos, you can just sit in it like an Uber and no one's in the driver's seat because it's a robot. Basically, you're in a robot car. But at least that exists. But then the problem is, even if you trust that, right, even though of course even with that and with Teslas where a person is driving it with autopilot, you could still have problems. Okay, so with autopilot, with EVs, you could still have issues. And then also a lot of times people will blame the other, like ICE vehicles, they'll blame the others and be like, well, we have issues because your car is not autopilot. Your car is not, like, you're not letting the robot run the car, so therefore it's imperfect. And so the roads are imperfect. So there's all these different ways about it. I'm not against my ability to drive. Like, I'm not against that, because as much as I would like to have autopilot one day, and I would love to have a Tesla Model X and a Cybertruck, as much as I wouldn't mind having any of that, I don't have it, but I wouldn't mind having it, and I have friends who have autopilot and they love it. As much as I would like to have it, I would also like to have like my backup car, like my Prius. I still love my Prius. I like the ability to just go. Exactly, Bert. What the heck? And anyways, I also want to let you guys know that, so besides the statistics of hearing from other folks that, of course, cars, the accident ratio with cars is much higher than airplanes, which is, again, unfortunate, because I don't think anybody should be losing their lives when they're just trying to get to work, or they're just coming back from a party or a wedding. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. But yeah, so be safe out there, and I always say, like, just be chill. I'd rather, and like try not to road rage as much, as I see a lot of that in LA. I'd rather let someone cut me off and not chase them and not road rage and not get into unnecessary arguments and accidents in my life. I like to call them points of failure. Like, any possible issues in my life, I like to avoid if I can, even though I can't avoid all issues, because sometimes I'm just an idiot, and I'll tell you what I did in about 2 minutes. But yeah, I think even though there's more car issues with the planes, though, I did make myself feel better by looking up how many planes do you guys think fly out in a day? Because I never knew. I just had to Google that recently. And it turns out there's like over 100,000 flights a day. Like, if you calculate all the flights in the world, there's about 100,000 flights. So technically, the fact that we don't hear about plane crashes like every other day, even though I know it kind of feels like that lately in 2025 and the year before, the ratio is obviously still much better than car accidents and probably many other ways of unfortunate passing of human beings. So that made me feel slightly better from my irrational fear of flying, because I'm like, okay, I have family members that are far, far, far in the other end of the world. I have to take a plane ride, like 14 hours, 15 hours to see them. So there's no way I can avoid it. See, Bangkok Bird says, decided I will unlikely ever fly again. See, if I never have to fly, I would be just like you. But I do have to fly because I do want to see my family members, and I also do want to travel to places that I've never been to. I've never been to Austria. Okay, I think that's where the Sound of Music was made, I think. I've never gone to Australia. I've never gone to Japan, for so many places I need to go and I want to go, so I'm gonna have to take the risk. But thank God it's not that big of a risk, because like I said, there's like 100,000 flights in a day, and we don't hear of, if you heard about 10 plane, even if there was 10 plane crashes, which, knock on wood, that never happens, in a day, 10 out of 100,000 is still a smaller number than I would have imagined. Like, if it was like 10% probability, then I don't think anybody would ever fly again of accidents. Dual engine failure. You're talking about the one from India, right? Yeah, boggles my mind. But that happens too, like with when people go skydiving. My mom actually went skydiving when she was younger, and she has a picture, and I was just like, and I used to always want to go, but not anymore. Not anymore. I used to be so excited about all these things, and then now I think what they say is true about getting older, or maybe just like the feeling of having more to lose than when I was younger. I just don't want to risk if I don't have to. Like, yeah, the chances are low. Like, I know a lot of people went skydiving, including my mom, and everything was fine. But it's like, do I want to have the probability of me maybe having something happen, even if it's only a 0.00 something chance? Am I down for that? Like, I'm not skydiving in order to see my family members. It's not a risk I have to take. So to me, as I get older now, I just lose more interest in risks that I don't have to absolutely take. If it's a risk I don't have to absolutely take, I'm not going to take. Yeah, speaking of that, I also need to watch Final Destination. That has nothing to do with anything, but I used to watch a lot of Final Destination movies, so I just kind of want to catch up on the newest one. I don't know if it did well or not, but I'll eventually watch it. There's so many movies, I honestly can't catch up. There's a lot of older movies, like The Goodfellas, I think that's what it's called. I also didn't watch that. There's just so many movies and cartoons, and I still never watched Lilo and Stitch. I didn't watch the cartoon or the live action. Visit Norway too. It's pretty in the summer. Yeah, I don't think I've been to Norway. I've been to a few places in Europe. Only a few. Like France and Italy, Switzerland, Belgium, Germany. But yeah, there's a lot of places I haven't been to that I'm very excited to go to, and I want to, because I went with a tour group with my mom many years ago, and then like I wanna go like on my own. I don't really want a tour guide. Not that having a tour guide is bad or anything, but I just don't like being rushed. I remember those like Asian tour guides that I was on. They rush you. They're like, chop chop, buddy. You only have 10 seconds to pee, and then afterwards we're on to the next stop. And they'll be like, yeah, you go to the Louvre, but then like you go to the museum and it's like speeding through all the paintings. I took a lot of pictures, but I barely had time to like actually enjoy any paintings, because you can't like stand still and just like sit somewhere for 30 minutes if you want to. No, you have to move on to the next spot, because then the bus is gonna forget about you, and you like sign contracts that like, at least I had to, like on my trip that I went with my mom, where they were like, yeah, if you don't show up at the next like stop where we told you to be at that exact time, and the bus leaves without you, then it's not our problem. Like, you go find your own flight, like all the way back from Europe. So I really didn't like that rush aspect. But again, I was younger at the time, so it's not like I could drive on my own, and honestly, I just wasn't as independent as I am now. Not that I am that great of an adult either. I'll tell you guys something really embarrassing. I almost did not make it. I almost probably burned my face off and like unalived myself or something, okay? Because the day before yesterday, my SO wasn't feeling well. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take care of you. Let me cook I'm gonna cook like a big pot of chicken soup. So I saw a pressure cooker Okay, I saw a pressure cooker, and like I don't really know how to use a pressure cooker, but I saw it. By the way, FYI, do not try this out. I never looked up how to use a pressure cooker. I just know that it cooks and it's on high heat because there's no air coming out, right? Or something like that. Or not much steam is coming out. And I know there's a thing on it that's like a whistle on top. So when I started to cook the chicken soup, like I filled it to the brim with water and chicken and all the ingredients. And then I closed the lid shut, the pressure cooker thing, and I started to cook it. But then I noticed that the silver thing that's on top, there's like this triangle. I'm like, oh, it's missing. And I don't know where it is. But I thought, like an idiot, I was like, oh, maybe this thing is missing. So that means more pressure is going to be let out of the pressure cooker. So maybe the pressure cooker is not working properly, and therefore it's not going to be as hot. Okay, so like, I don't know. I was just being an idiot. And then I cooked the chicken soup for about 30 minutes, and I kind of saw steam coming out the whole time, but then it wasn't that loud. So then 30 minutes goes by, okay? And I'm like cooking something else on the stove too. I go to the pressure cooker, because how it works is you like literally spin it shut, because when you release it, then it unlocks. So I spin it to unlock it. The second I spin it to unlock it, it was so dramatic. I actually forgot if the lid popped out of my hand or if I held onto it. I think it popped out of my hand, but all I remember seeing is an explosion. The chicken didn't explode out of the pot, thank God, but an explosion of water came out from my pressure cooker. Like it literally like exploded upwards, and then it just exploded, hit the fan on top, and then it just dropped all over the kitchen floor. Okay. And I was so mad. I wanted to scream on the top of my lungs. I was mad at myself for being an idiot. To not look up how a pressure cooker really works before cooking, and to assume that just because the little whistle thing was off, that it had less pressure, which is like, what? It probably had the same pressure, if not more. I don't know, because I kept it on for so long. And I don't even know how to use it. So I think I think I should have turned off the fire and then let it sit a bit, steam off, and then release it. And then it wouldn't have popped off like so crazy. But anyways, thank God I wasn't hurt. The water splash, like, I jumped back when the water like exploded and then dropped to the floor. So like nothing hit me, but the floor was filled with oily chicken water, and it was disgusting. And then all the fire on the stove went off because all the water went all over the stove. It was so gross, and I had to clean for like at least 30 minutes and then spend another 30 minutes to like finish cooking. I was just so pissed, but mostly at myself. Like, this is the type of stuff that I thought I'm too old to do. Like, mistakes like this are not for adults, I thought. But I guess adults could still do really stupid things. Like, that would have been bad. If, like, could you imagine if I accidentally, like, left it on for, like, an hour and then I popped it off? Then maybe it would have just, like, maybe the lid would have just, like, exploded back in my face or something. It would have, like, it would have done something crazy. I don't know. But the water might have just, like, burned my whole face off. I don't know. It was super hot. So, yeah, never again. I'm, like, scared of pressure cookers now. I'm just, like, I have a high fear for it. I think I'm just going to cook with, like, regular pots and pans for the rest of my life now. And even if I do get a pressure cooker, I think I'll try to look for one that like automatically turns off or something. Or like, I don't know if it exists, but I need something that like it doesn't allow you to detach the lid if it's gonna explode the way that it did with mine. So yeah, that's my terrible story. that happened to me. The most traumatic cooking experience of my life. Makes me never want to cook again, but I cooked again afterwards. I'm just gonna try to be more. I just have to be, I guess, I have to try and Google things more before enacting on them, which is something I always lacked. Like, I think I just didn't like to ask people for help much growing up. And so it's led me to a lot of unnecessary mistakes. I think I've gotten slightly better with it, but obviously with the recent cooking experience, I think I still need to try to not be so, I think I know it all. Like, I think everything will be fine. Because I remember when I was younger, I drove my dad's friend's car, a fancy car. I think it was Mercedes or something. Yeah, it's Mercedes. And I was parking it, and then I didn't really know how to park it in the parking garage because I barely had my driver license for like long, and I didn't really have a good driving record, like experience. And then so I was parking it in the garage. It wasn't even my garage, and I could have like called my brother or my dad or his friend to help me park it because I didn't really know what I was doing. It was like a tight parking spot. So I just kept trying myself and being like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I can do this. Like, I can figure it out. Like, I'm not stupid. And then I hit it and I banged it up like really, really bad. I think it was like probably 10 grand to fix or something. And I cried. But luckily, my dad's friend didn't make me pay for it. But it was also terrible. So from that moment, I also learned, especially with expensive items, you probably don't want to mess around and act like you know what you're doing, or think you know what you're doing when you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, my recent pressure cooker experience reminded me of that one. So it's like, even though I learned the lesson with other people's property, this time it's like I didn't value enough of, I guess, my face and my health, which I need to value more in the future, because that would have been so bad. That would have been so bad if I cooked the chicken soup for like even longer. Yeah, because I only cooked it for 30 minutes from cold water. So it was really hot because it's a pressure cooker, which cooks much faster than a regular pot. But it's like it's bad, but it's not. It could have been worse if I left it on for like an hour, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the flight situation, I just pray for the world that we have less accidents out there. But with that being said, as scared as I am, it just sucks because like I know I'm gonna still travel. So it's like one of those things where you have to just be like, I try my best to avoid problems. Like, I try to avoid, like right now what's going on in LA, like the protests and whatnot. I'm definitely trying to avoid it. Like, not for political reasons or anything, but like literally I'm scared. Because like I've seen so much news, and I just saw one like earlier today where like really bad things can happen at places that are overly crowded and like uncontrolled too. And I think recently there was a shooting. I forget exactly which state it occurred, but yeah, it just scares me. So I try to avoid places where it could be very unsafe. Even if people sometimes are trying to do peaceful things, like peaceful protests and whatnot. And even like we've seen things happen in America, marathons, and there could be problems. Movie theaters, but it's like, am I gonna try to avoid every single place? No. But I'll try my best to stay home more. Like, it's sad that I have to think about these things, but I am so busy to the point where like I am mostly home anyways. But it's just like, I think especially recently I've also been, there's certain activities where like I do want to go to and I can't, because a part of me is like, oh, okay, well, what if something happens, right? Like, so unless I badly want to go to it, I usually will try to avoid crowds. The bigger the crowd, I'll try to avoid it most of the time. Maybe that's that's a strange way to live, but at least for now, I'm in the point in my life where, like, again, points of failure. It's like I'd like to avoid more of it if I can. But even though I even consider airplanes as a point of failure, like a possibility, it's not something I can avoid. So eventually, I will still have to go on to it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being a part of my stream. If you stayed this long, again, not all my videos are ASMR. Not trying to be, but I hope you liked it. I hope the sound was different. I'm just going to go back to regular talking. So this is my regular talking voice. Okay, it's there. I was just worried that if I talked for an hour just now, I would like totally lose my voice because it's been raspy. And tomorrow I'm going to do another 4-hour stream. Eventually I will lose my voice. So that's just the end of it. And like I could still do my short videos, which is on YouTube, which is fine. I can still do my short videos. It's really weird to talk now after I whispered for that long, honestly. I don't know if that did anything to my voice. If like, because you're whispering, you're still using it. Like it's still vibrations. But yeah, I think eventually I just have to be okay with the fact because I watch other people's whatnot streams too. And I'm like, yeah, that girl's voice is out. Like, or that guy's voice is out. So it's just the more that I'm on it, the more I think the raspier my voice will get. I just have to pull through. If I absolutely cannot talk, I might have to do the whispers. I don't know. Like when I'm doing the streams. But if that doesn't work, I just can't be there. But yeah, if you guys want to go check it out. I thought your SO was sleeping. No. No. I was just doing that because yeah, tomorrow I have to talk for 4 hours straight. And I go hard. Because like when you're doing live stream sales, like on whatnot, actually I just probably talk more than any other stream I've ever scrolled through. But I do see the difference. It's like the more you talk, the quicker you explain your products, the quicker you can move on to the second product, which means the more sales. Whereas I've seen like girls and guys, some of them just be like, okay, here's like this like vacuum, robo vacuum. And then they like barely talk about it and they just hold it up and like slowly read it or barely say anything about it. Those streams take way too long to sell an item per like minute or whatever. And they're just generally like more boring. So I don't want to be that. Therefore, I need to save my energy and like give it my all when I'm doing that. Yeah, so it won't really, I guess, mess with the other stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm doing like short YouTube game videos. I literally don't have to talk. There's this girl, I don't know her real name or even her account name, but because I follow so many people on TikTok. But there's a girl on TikTok, she has 20 million followers. And all she does is like game filters. And I don't even think I know what her voice sounds like because she doesn't need to talk. It's mostly just like facial expressions. And then there's like background music. So I could just do that potentially. But I do like to use my voice and I do like to talk and chat with you guys. So yeah, hopefully I don't lose it all. But you'll just start hearing me like I'll just sound different like as time goes by. Because I know last year this time I told you guys like I was in China and like my voice was just like weird. My voice was just raspy for no reason for about like 2 months. No matter how much honey lemon tea I drank or herbal teas that they said would be good for your throat, like monk fruit is supposed to be good. There's so many things I'm trying. But yeah, like I'm gonna do more lemon honey tea, like more often. And just like I've been staying hydrated. I do like the mint. I always carry like some type of like what is it called? Ricola and like this Japanese throat candy thing that's really good. So I've been doing that when I'm doing the streams and even when I'm not today, even when I wasn't doing that today. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to my next item now that I chatted with you guys. Again, I hope that you guys take from me that I think it's just mostly like a lot of it is mindset. The whole point of this is I think I want to share with you guys my thought process after everything is I think like the world will tell you one thing
And whoa, there you go. That's how long I've been here. My entire light went out. Actually, this light's not bad. The fact that it was on the whole time. Oh, it's so hot. The world will, I think the world will always tell you like a judgment of whatever it is that you're doing in your life. Like, oh, you're this, you're that, by whatever it is that you're doing. Or like you should be burned out, or oh my God, that's so stressful. But that may not be the truth. You can believe that, but you might want like whatever it is that someone's telling you. It's like when someone tells you like you're so smart or like you're dumb. It's up to you to decide like what you are, not what someone else to tell you. So it's almost like I think in my whole life I never actually really thought about that. I'm like, oh, some of the words that like a lot of my friends and I use to describe like our lives or each other, sometimes you don't even realize, but subconsciously it's like, oh, okay, like what is stressed out? What is like truly being burnt out? Like their version of being burnt out is different from my version and different from their parents' version and whoever it is that they're dating, right? Everybody's versions of a word may be different. So it's almost like when someone's telling you that you should feel a certain way, you don't have to because you may not actually feel it, but it might actually just be the pressures of what everyone is feeding you that makes you almost believe it. So I think I'm just not gonna I'm gonna remove that word and I'll know it when I am because I don't actually feel it, but I have been using it. And a lot of people have been putting that word on me, but I truly am just living my best life. And I think that even though I'm doing so much and like, yeah, my vocal cords, I gotta be careful and I might lose my voice from talking too much. But like energy wise, happiness levels, like my happiness levels in life, I'm telling you, is like here. Like, has it been like financially, have I done better in life? Yes. But like, I think my happiness level is truly like higher even than when my finance levels were like even higher, which is really crazy. But happiness level is like at an all-time high for me, just in general, like mental state, financial state, like relationships with family members and what I've done in my life. Like, I'm just more grateful now in my life than ever and happy. In terms of doing more things than ever, yes. Also doing more things, more activities, more hobbies, more ways of making money than ever has also like reached this level. But I actually like I'm just really proud of that and I celebrate that and I'm happy about all of it. But to other people's eyes, I totally get that that can look like burnout and like really tiring. But like I said, the worst part of my life, thank God, is over and I hope it never happens again. And when I say worst part, it's not like I hated it. It was just like the most tiring of my life, which was in my early 20s, like working basically what felt like 3 jobs at one point because like I said, I had the property management job full time. Okay. Monday to Friday. And it was 8 hours. And then right afterwards, I rushed to my waitress serving job, which would also go on for like 6 hours at a time, sometimes till closing, like 8 hours. So like doing that was crazy. And then I had some weekends where I also said yes to like side gigs from my main job, like the property management one, where I'll do like I forgot what it's called. I think you're like a scribe. You take notes and like what's it called? Meetings. So yeah, that was like 3 jobs at one point, and I didn't get enough sleep, so my body was literally, like, decaying, I think, at one point, and falling apart, and I still pulled through, and it's weird because I feel like it's also me just back then, I was, like, totally falling apart, but I also felt like because I knew I was young at the time, or what society considered young, I was like, "Oh, well, whatever." I'm, like, early 20s, you know? And so I'm like, I'm gonna make it. Like whatever. What doesn't matter if I'm like super tired and getting 5 hours of sleep. But now looking back, like, yeah, maybe part of that is true. The only way I could handle it is because I was young, and then maybe I can't do that now. And not that I want to sleep for 5 hours a day. That's terrible. Um, but it doesn't mean that just because just because I like society was like, oh, you could handle more when you're younger, that you should either, or that you can't handle much when you're older is necessarily true. It all depends on your like your physical state mentally, like how strong are you mentally, physically, how much you can handle. But I definitely think that no matter what you're doing, whether it's for hobby or to make money, Yeah, nothing's worth your peace and your like mental health and your happiness and sleep. Like if I'm not getting enough sleep, I don't think I could do it. Like I want to do a stream one day where I'm like not sleeping and I do like the longest stream ever just to see how long my body would last before I just have to go to sleep. That's just like for fun. If I ever do it one day, it'll probably be here. But I don't think I would ever take on a job like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., no matter how much like it would make, because I need to sleep during that time. And then I don't think I'd ever be down to give that up. So you just do what like in your heart you know is right. And I don't think like I have a lot of chats with friends where they're like, "Oh, I hate blah 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 at my work or whatever." And they don't like their work. But I also get that to pay bills, depending on everybody's situation. You know, I've been through it too, where like I had to stand people that I didn't really like at work, coworkers or bosses or managers, and you have to pull through because you need that paycheck. So it really sucks. Um, but if you are in the position to bounce, like some folks are, and still choosing to stay, which makes no sense to me, I think if you are in the position to leave a very uncomfortable workplace situation, whether it's your boss or your manager or coworker, I think it'd be the best decision ever. Like if you can actually leave from that and make money elsewhere and still stay afloat. Because looking back, yeah, being stuck in a place, especially for money, like for work, for a paycheck, and you're like surrounded by people that are toxic or seriously just really unhealthy for you to be around. I I think you can still be out of sight, out of mind. Like you try your best to, even if you know someone, because I am still acquaintances or sometimes know people, even if I don't have to see them often, I don't like their vibe or energy that much. That happens. You can't control everything. And sometimes people you like are friends or acquaintances, unfortunately, with folks that you don't connect well with or people you absolutely hate or don't like. So you just have to like learn how to deal with like relationships and the politics of that. But you absolutely, if you can, should avoid it because when you don't see them anymore, because I've experienced that. Like when I was around, especially when you're younger and it's harder to navigate all those thoughts, I think, like, once I got away from people that were very bad for my mental health, life just got so much better, and I hope that for anybody that is wondering, like, "Oh my god, am I gonna be unhappy like this forever because of this person?" You will not, and one day, they're just gonna be so, like, dust to you, because I still remember, like, many times in my life, whether it's school or workplace, where I felt stuck like just being unhappy with someone and I'm like constantly they'll be on my mind because they're like bothering me in real life, in real time. Um, and then once I leave that situation, that place, after a few years, hopefully less for you, you're literally gonna look back and be like, LOL, what a joke. Okay, that person means absolutely nothing to me. And I'm so glad. I don't care what happens. Like it literally some things will just feel so major in the moment, and then when you leave it and you focus on something else, mainly I hope it's yourself, nothing to do with all these exterior people that don't matter to you. Um, you're just gonna be so much happier, and you're gonna wonder why it ever like they ever wasted any space in your head whatsoever. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to my almost ASMR style video. Please check out the other mini videos that I have on this channel. This is where, yeah, anything goes, and we'll just chat about anything under the sun. And you can always let me know if there's anything you like to talk about in the comment section of any of my videos. There will be a lot more of these types of videos where I try to keep it in a category, even though I know I flow off to different things. But on this channel, I'm trying to keep every single topic in the title, at least the things that I mention, whatever's on my mind in the moment that I want to talk about. Sometimes I think something and I'm like, oh, but I don't have time for a stream, so I forget about it. So it might happen later. But I love you guys. Take care. Once again, happy Father's Day. But I think there should just be every day should be a day where you just appreciate your family. I read somewhere that if you have a parent to call, you're already luckier than most of the people around the world. So remember that. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.